Well, Raize Invest has just unveiled a pretty strong set of numbers for the fourth quarter, swelling funds under management by 27.5% to $2.32 billion, while lifting active customers to over 351,000 as well. Joining me is CEO Craig Keary here in studio.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thanks for coming in. Just on the numbers first, is that fourth quarter spike in user numbers something that can be replicated again? I mean, what drove it?
It's a good question. Look, we've been really focusing historically on customer acquisition. One of the things that I've sort of flagged in the fourth quarter results is that there will also be an increased focus from me on that customer acquisition focus, that conversion focus. If I look at what could have driven it, firstly, we are seeing a number of young early investors sort of starting to engage in investing. And one of the things that our app does is it does appeal to those younger investors. So that's an element of that is driving the growth. But overall, we're seeing more investors that are engaged with their money.
We like that.
Indeed.
But we're also seeing average revenue per user, ARPU, as it's called. It was up by 12.5%. So what was driving that?
Largely, it was, first of all, we did put a price increase through in August 2025, but obviously as funds under management go up, that can also have an impact on ARPU. But also one of the things that we are focusing on is getting greater cross-sell across our user base as well.
You took over as CEO at the beginning of June, so how'd you come into the role in terms of your priorities?
So the word that I've used sort of from the day that I started is ambition. Ambition, first of all, for our customers. Our customers join Raize because they're ambitious, they want to grow their wealth, and the fact that you can start with as little as $5 shows that ambition that they've got. Secondly, our shareholders. Our shareholders want us to grow, and that's where ambition comes into play there. And thirdly, our staff. We've got a wonderful team that turn up every day, and it's getting that ambitious leadership into the business that will drive the growth.
Okay, so tell me a little bit more about the roadmap. How practically are you going to continue to drive that growth?
So the key number, in no particular order, the first priority is really around what I would call, with my fresh lens on the acquisition funnel, on the conversions, looking at how we're delivering content to our investors. That's really important. That will actually drive the sort of the customer growth and the retention. Secondly, we are also looking at what we can do with respect to AI to improve sort of customer onboarding and engagement. That's the sort of the second limb. And the third limb is we've already flagged, we're looking at developing US trading capability as well as Australian share trading capability, because what we're finding is that our customers are looking to sort of access those markets.
So they've previously had to leave the platform to go and trade US shares, for example.
Correct.
Isn't that a very competitive space to be entering?
It is a competitive space, but if I look at what is actually the core part of our platform is customers come to us really to invest on a regular basis. They've got portfolios that satisfy that need, but equally they're becoming more curious about what's happening overseas, in particular the US. So we want to be able to give them that option.
So you are also hoping, presumably, that you get your clients and customers young and you can see them through their sort of investment journey?
Absolutely. If I look at, we've got customers from as young as the day they're born, and we've got this unique feature with kids accounts, and we've got customers that are in the retiree space. So we've got a platform that actually appeals for everybody. And one of the really great things that we are seeing is those customers start young and then staying with us on that journey, and that's really amazing because we're there to help them build their wealth.
So when you're talking AI, so you obviously see AI as an opportunity. Does AI also threaten the model at all in any way?
Look, AI has changed the way we all operate, but I think one of the things that we certainly see is that customers are more in tune with actually being able to use AI. So we think there is the ability for us to look at how can we embed AI into our processes. We use a lot of AI anyway, but it's just how we can embed that in a more deeper way to help customer engagement.
So customer growth front of mind. When we are talking about the customers of Raize, there has been, I guess, the appeal of that customer base in terms of M&A. You used to run selfwealth. It was acquired by a Southeast Asian, correct me if I'm wrong, brokerage. So there's been a lot of chatter that perhaps that's an ambition as well.
So one of the things that I flagged in the fourth quarter results was around M&A. So we are very open to looking at M&A that will enhance our distribution capability, so provide us with more customers or potential customers, as well as anything that will enhance our product roadmap. So we are very open to M&A, and that's a strategy that we will just continue to employ.
But that's you as the acquirer. Is there any ambition to build the business up so that it is very appealing to an outside acquirer?
So the mandate I've got from the board at the moment is for us to effectively go and look at us acquiring, and that's where it is currently at the moment.
Now, Craig, I thought it was interesting that you wrote a letter essentially to users, to shareholders when you took over as CEO. Why'd you do that?
Look, at the end of the day, we are a customer organisation. We've got 350,000 customers. They trust us with their wealth, and I felt that it was really important for me to be able to connect with those customers and share what was important to me. And it seemed to resonate really well with the customers. It spoke about the values that I would stand by. My daughter's one of those customers, and she was quite chuffed to get a letter from her dad. And I think it just sets the standard for financial services is about being customer-centric. Shareholders as well. You've got to be very much a shareholder-centric business when you're a public company as well. And I think it was very important to be able to write to those customers.
Now, speaking of shareholders, where do you see the next catalyst for share price appreciation coming through?
I think it's us just continuing to do what we should be doing, which is driving the business with growth, delivering on our product roadmap, leading with ambition, being disciplined in what we do. At the end of the day, shareholders are really looking for us to be disciplined. They're looking for us to have that growth mindset and manage the business and the capital that we've got from them in a very disciplined and structured manner. I think if we do all of that and we're growing the business, then the other part comes.